going on, people? How you doing? Alright, I came across this veil fire thing right here, and know what that means. That means there's a rune pattern, at least most likely, somewhere nearby. I'm assuming in this cave. So I thought we'd go check this out. Figured this is as good a place as any to start. I've been kind of wandering around and collecting crafting materials more than anything else. Killing the random bandit and what have you as I walk along. Fade rifts and, you know, that kind of stuff. Saw this, and so we'll find out where this leads us. Speaking of crafting materials, look at this. This is ridiculous. Definitely use all this. And there it is. Hear it tinkling over there. Alright, Master Lightning Rune. Sweet. I have no idea where the superb one would be. Not yet, but really like to get my hands on that, actually. Lightning Rune sounds like it would come in handy. Also, it just looks really cool on your weapons. Oh, okay. That was one of those red Jenny things. That's why Sarah made a comment there. I believe because we have her with us at the moment is why we actually got that.
Between the corpses and the wyvern, nothing here is safe. But I wouldn't give to get my hands on that animal.
And here's Judith. Here's that lady that guy was telling us to find.
The name's Judith. I farm and I mend things for the village and people passing through. I did a fair trade with traveling merchants before the undead started attacking. Not to mention that dragon.
You live here on purpose.
Oh, you know, the fishing's grand.
There's a wyvern causing trouble.
It used to hunt in the mountains. Didn't bother anyone but the bandits. Lately, the beast got it in his head to come down here. It almost crippled Gauld's little boy. Best someone kill it. I hope I get my hands on the liver. It makes a poison that kills rats like nothing.
What do you know about the dragon?
She moved in a month ago. The guards tried to run her off, but she snapped one's head off and she flew away. Poor Hamold. At least it was quick. Since then, she's eaten 3 horses, 5 goats, and 2 cats.
If you're Judith, there's a man in the village concerned about you.
That must be Gould, fretful as ever. I'm glad he stayed in Crestwood. He's fast as you please with a loom, but terrible with a sword.
Until later.
Be safe.
So she likes the fight. She likes the it's the adventure of being out here on her own, and she's making it. I mean, you know, can't knock her for that, right? I don't know if it's terribly wise, but well, who am I to say? All right, so she wants us to go kill a wyvern, which apparently is different than a dragon. We'll find out. We'll go find it and go take care of it for her. And there's just so much stuff growing around here, I just can't keep my hands off of it. Every time you press your radar, there's, you know, several things going off, it seems like, all the time. There's this over here. Wonder what the eventual reward will be for solving all of these. First, it didn't look like you could cross those two down there. Kind of curious how you would get through that without doubling back, but looks like this is what they're looking for. These aren't incredibly hard, but they're still fun. Like how each one kind of tells a story, too. This is their version of astrology, I guess you could say. Alright, so those lasers pointed to where the other ones were. We'll get to those eventually. And check this out. Now, I made another little separate video of this right here. This Plants vs. Zombies Easter egg. Show you where I'm at right here. There's Judith's farm right there by that astrarium. Alright, here's our fort, so you get an idea of how far I've traveled here. Just essentially followed the coast. Just running around. I'm not trying to include all my wanderings, because most of it's just, like I say, picking crafting materials and running into the odd, I don't know, stray animal or bandit or something. But Anyway. Then there's this person hanging in here. I don't know if that would be part of the Easter. I'm not familiar with Plants vs. Zombies. I don't know that that would be part of the Easter egg, but anyway. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to go find the dam controls and go lower the water in this area, and down there will be, what, Old Crestwood, I think it's called? But apparently that's the town that was flooded during the Blight. Well, they did water well, didn't they? I mean, look at that. That's crazy good. All right, and here we have wasn't just the dam, it was apparently a tavern. I guess they kind of treated the dam like a pier and
Wonderful.
put a watering hole up here.
We didn't know you were here, sir. Please don't tell anyone.
How did you get past the guards?
There weren't any when we got here.
We just heard you killed the bandits, your worship. We didn't know you were moving in, we promise. You won't tell people we were here, will you?
I see you couldn't resist the thrill of a decrepit pub.
There's nowhere else, sir. Everyone is crammed into the village.
Lonnie's parents would have a fit if they saw us. We'll have to wait an hour to go back. Your father will still be up.
I knew this was a mistake.
We could try the caves.
You hate spiders.
You find somewhere next time.
They're willing to go to any length, though. You gotta respect that, you know. I mean, hey, be down with it. That's what I say. All right. I was actually just trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic with them, but oh well. I'm not gonna snitch him off. World's in bad enough shape to not pass up any chances to get little let's see, R&R. Little free time, little yeah, whatever. What if there are achievements for, like, getting all the books on the Blight, or all of the chapters to Varric's, you know, Hard and Hightown? Stuff like that. Seems like, Dragon Age 2, it was to get all the, parts of the, history of the Chantry, I think? And maybe the history of Kirkwall? But it seemed like you collected all the codexes of something. I don't remember in Origins. I don't remember anything like that. I think in Origins it was just collect a certain number of them. Maybe.
Sarah, if you eschew all things elven, why not a crossbow? They require less training.
Ugh, too winchy.
Ah, yes. Winchiness. A point I had not considered.
Winchiness. Yeah, it's just epic dialogue, man. Epic. What is that symbol on the wall? Raider? For the raiders here, the bandits, maybe? Local bandits? I don't know, I wouldn't mind having that on a shield or something. Alright. Release the floodgates.
The mayor said Darkspawn destroyed these controls 10 years ago. Who repaired them?
Right. Something stinks besides fish and fish.
Maybe it's biased, but I happen to like everything Sarah says. Just me. I like the way she talks. Top of that. Now the water's down, I'm sure it's unlocked some loot. Yeah, of course it has. Ladders to everywhere and all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, we're getting a closer look, yeah?
Sarah likes dragons. Wonder what her... Okay, now Solus hints that she's got some magical leanings, you know? Even though she wants to deny it, even though the thought of magic terrifies her. Solus hints that... I wonder if there's some ledges or something that we can fall down on. Maybe... Well, we can't get on that chain right there, but... This is worth coming to explore. Like, maybe something hidden down on one of those... At the end of one of those metal things. I don't know. Anyway. But Solus hints that she has some, you know, magic going on there, or some, at least some awareness of it. She doesn't want to admit it. But, you know, how dragons play into the lore exactly, I'm really not sure. Got to admit that. I know it's called Dragon Age, but, I'm a little clueless on exactly how they fit into the whole thing, but, you know, I'm sure magic's involved there, and she seems to be fascinated with them. Bull is fascinated with dragons for another reason. He feels he's related to dragons or something. But, Sarah, I think it's like a magical thing.
May I help you?
You said the dam controls were smashed during the blight. Someone's fixed them.
Who could have... It must have been Robert, our wheelwright. He kept busy mending things after the flood. He vanished a month later. We found his body in the spring, hanging from a pine. Please, I can think no more of this. That poor soul deserved better. May I help you?
Until later.
Okay, no other dialogue options. Alright, now something's not right, obviously. I mean, you know, go figure. Of course something's wrong, you know, of course something's going on. Of course everything's not as it seems. Of course we're being lied to. Of course somebody's hiding something. I mean, that's just, you know, kind of par for course. But, now I can tell you in my wanderings, looking back, that I came across the corpse of a mage kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like a note next to the mage, and it's like, I'm going to go help the villagers. I hope they don't see me as a threat. I just want to help type thing. And she's kind of dead over off here in a corner where nobody knows about it. And I wonder if any attempts to come help the villagers have been met with that end. Like Robert goes to fix the dam controls and he winds up, you know, mysteriously hanging himself. I wonder if that was that him in that house over there by that Plants and Zombies Easter egg? I don't know. I don't remember where he said they found the body, but anyway. One of the scouts told us that they had a scout missing, and this is that scout. This is where that quest marker led me to. And okay, according to this note, nobody could possibly know that he was going to be here at this time. So we find out we have a traitor, but yeah, go figure. Liliana's pretty good at weeding those guys out. So if she didn't weed this one out, then that means the traitor's pretty high up. 2,400 criticals? Not bad. I'd like to be getting 2,400 criticals off regular attacks, though, not, you know, Mighty Blow. You know, there's you know, damage buffs in there, and that's great. I would rather be hitting 6, 7, 8,000 with Mighty Blow, if possible. I don't know what numbers I can expect. We'll be getting into all that here pretty soon. Start gearing our gear towards the build that I have in mind, as well as, you know, we've got our skills pretty much in place. Next few levels, you know, that this build will be well rounded off. Anything after that will just be kind of icing on the cake. You know, a passive here and there that I could take, mostly because it'll add plus to some of my stats like strength, constitution, whatever. But need to really start getting our gear to match what I want the build to do. Critical chance, critical damage. I want to put up huge numbers, and it's really enticing to put up just these obnoxious criticals, but I would like to have critical chance so that even if my numbers aren't really through the roof, I'm hitting criticals almost all the time.
They're studying a set of elven ruins. Why, we're not sure.
I found Butcher's corpse by the South Road. Then a Tory ambushed me afterward.
Only our highest operatives knew he was coming tonight. I must inform Sister Nightingale we have a traitor.
I should be going.
Yeah, a well-placed traitor, apparently. Alright, so that's an operation at the war table that unlocked to go find out who the traitor is. And we got news of The Venatori investigating what they thought was an elven ruin, and they're all over the place. Anything that hints of an elven ruin, they seem to be all over it. Looking for things. Now, we already know that the Elder One had an elven orb, and so there has to be something related. If the Venatori are looking for it, that means the Elder One wants it, and the Venatori are his eyes and ears out there looking for it. And these elven ruins, well, you know, they're holding something that the Elder One wants, apparently. I have a feeling that all that's going to play into the story. We'll find out more about that later. Or maybe it's something that's hidden in codexes, and if I don't carefully read all the codexes, then I can miss it. So, I don't know. I can honestly say that I think a lot of players who, how can I say this? I certainly don't want to offend anybody, because everyone, you know, everyone pays their money for their game to enjoy it the way they want to enjoy it. So I'm not knocking that at all. But I can say, I'll put it this way. I can say some players may be cheating themselves, especially in really well-written, I would say deep RPGs like this, where the story is as open as you want it to be. I mean, there's as much in here as you're willing to go find. You know, as far as the story and the lore and the history and stuff, like how much do you really care to know? I would let me make a quick comparison, like Skyrim. Okay, Skyrim, a lot of its lore and history and atmosphere, you know, for the world and all the different cultures and religions and politics and all the things that are going on in the world between the different races and, you know, from the different lands and, you know, all that kind of stuff, okay? A lot of that can be found in books, not so much from NPCs, because there's not so much in-depth NPC dialogue in Skyrim as you'll find in BioWare games, but there are a lot of books you can read. Like, you can go up to just about any shelf and read a book, plus you can go to certain areas, more so in Oblivion, very little in Skyrim. Areas didn't tell the kinds of stories that the areas in Oblivion, it was like, kind of like Fallout 3 compared to New Vegas. New Vegas, not so much. Fallout 3, every room you walk into could tell its own little story, right? Oblivion was a lot like that, but it was the same team working on Fallout 3 and Oblivion, right? Those teams weren't there for, well, New Vegas wasn't even Bethesda, it was Obsidian. And Skyrim was a different team, a different lead designer. You know, same company, but not the same people. That's why it had a different feel to it. It was kind of like a prettier wrapper with a little less content, in my opinion. You know, people are still playing Skyrim, so that is what it is. But anyway, for say that the casual Skyrim player, it might suffice someone to just craft all day and wander around aimlessly all day and go into random dungeons and fight Draugr all day. And that's cool, but, you know, if you want to dig into the lore, you might have to actually go read some books and go really do some investigating. It's there to be found in the world. There's just, you know, a lot of investigating to do. Well, here it's kind of like that, too. Is you have the story, and the story's dynamic, and it's amazing. You know, they throw the cutscenes in there to give you a good feel for the way the story's going. Like, when you leave Haven, you know, it's all hopeless, and you're alone, and you're in the cold, and you're almost freezing to death, but then you find your friends, and hope is restored, and then you get this castle all to yourself, and you can start building the Inquisition, and you realize the game's really just starting. You know, you're not at a checkpoint in the game. Hell, you know, up to that point, you've essentially just been in the tutorial, you know? And it's kind of cool. Okay, well, aside from that, you know, that dynamic storytelling aspect of it, then you can get into all the codexes and talking to all the people and really looking off in the corners and finding stuff and realize, you know, things like this right here. This Astrarium thing, you know, if you read this, it gives you some things, and there may be some little key thing in there that gives you a hint as to maybe the way a people think, or a particular culture or a particular habit of a certain people's that you know little about up to this point, but it you know, it kind of sticks in your head. Like, it might mention, you know, the Avar or the Canary or something like that, and then later on, whatever they said might trigger with something else said about the Avar or the Canary, and you learn something about them through just reading this and reading that and listening to a person here and there, and you know, catching just little things and kind of putting all those together and making one picture out of it. I think that's awesome, man. It's a cool way they did that. It rewards you for adventuring, for exploring, for investigating, for seeking out stuff. You know, you're not just wandering around in a corner, you know, for hours, not finding anything interesting other than, you know, the plants and the trees type thing. There's actually stuff to be found, and then when you do, you're rewarded accordingly. You get some more insight into the game and the lore and the history, if you're interested in that. If you're interested in just wandering around and just randomly killing things, and that's all you're really playing for, you can do that too. You know, that's there for you too. But like I say, it almost seems like players may be cheating themselves a little bit without kind of venturing out and maybe actually bothering to look into the game a little bit and find out, you know, there's kind of a story being told. I don't know. A story within the story. Lots of little stories within the story. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I talk about these games all day long. Well, hell, I do talk about these games all day long. It's kind of my job. Oh, well.
There must be something here.
Oh, sweet. We got hidden stuff. Probably a bottle of Thetis somewhere. I should have about 20-something of those things now. I think there's, what, like 29 in the whole collection. And you essentially... Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, no, I don't even have 20 yet. Yeah, I'm only about halfway there. But, apparently there are a lot of these things. And you have to, essentially search every cave, and, hell, I found them in abandoned houses, and upstairs in taverns, and in Fallow Mire. Hell, there was, 2 or 3 of them there, it seemed like. Found a couple here, too. I wonder if there's an achievement for getting all of them. Probably. That would be something that I would expect an achievement from, getting all the bottles, or whatever. Or at least a certain number of them. Okay, so this is a wyvern, huh? Well, I don't see wings. I thought she said that whatever grabbed the cattle grabbed him and then flew, or bit that dude's head off and flew away, or something like that. Or was she talking about another creature altogether, like a dragon? I know there's a dragon here somewhere too, and we're definitely gonna go find him. I mean, we saw him as soon as we opened up the dam. We saw the dragon fly by, so we know what that means. He's unlocked somewhere, right? Yeah, this thing isn't a dragon, but it's certainly got some health. Certainly hits hard too. Looks like Varric's trying to stay out of the way, but I don't know what it is about Blackwall. He just doesn't seem to be quite as intimidating. I mean, he's got their aggro now, but they weren't all that worried about him. You put Cass in here, and she pisses everybody off immediately. She can take it too. Maybe it's just bias. I really like Cass a lot. I like her skill tree, I like her attitude, I like her conversations with most of the followers. She even likes Sarah a little bit. She doesn't want to admit it, but she does. We got this guy now. Fought. Little baby wyvern or whatever he thinks. Tough. These are just lizards as far as I'm concerned. Big iguanas. Let's see what we get. Nice. Okay. Wonder if that's set loot or look like it. Look like something that you expect to find just here. On him and him alone. Alright, so we're in this little opening. I get the feeling there's something here to find, but would you need Veilfire here? There wasn't any Veilfire anywhere around, was there? Or was that just the point, just to fight that wyvern or whatever that thing was? When she said wyvern, I wonder if was she talking about this guy? I mean, it seems like. Okay, I go back to report to Judith after the. You know, wonder if she's talking about the dragon itself.
Talk about your dark and troubled past. Excuse me? Well, you have one, of course. Someone dear to you, someone you failed to save. Or a grave error in judgment causing too many deaths? I've known a couple of people like that. Oh, maybe betrayal. That's always good.
No.
Well, you've got to give me something.
No, I don't. This conversation is over.
Touchy.
Oh, here's the Wedge of Destiny, the cheese shield. Not anything I'm ever going to use, but just for giggles, I found it. Now, I don't know if it's always here. Show you where I'm at on the map. I'm on this little overlook. Here's the camp right there. Right? There's that Astrarium. There's a cave we just killed the wyvern in, or whatever that lizard was. And here's this camp right here. Okay, so I'm essentially on the overlook right over it. But, yeah, the Wedge of Destiny. Now, I found a few other party cheese spots. Right off the top of my head, I could think there was one on the Storm Coast. You had to climb some of those cutout rocks to get up to it. And then, trying to think where another one was. Anyway, but I don't know if you have to find the rest of them first before you find that, but that's where that was at. All right, if you want to subscribe, click that button over my head. I appreciate you guys watching. For all my videos, click the box on the left. And until the next one, y'all take care, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.